and fair out of our budget. So chalk and cheese, totally different in terms of the the feeling and the mode, the hope, the prospects in your country. You know, people calling extremely early, so let me take the call early and start it off in the right way, right, with the people. Good morning, brother.
Salamu alaikum, brother.
Wa alaikum salam, man. Peace be unto you.
Yeah, forward. And when I hear the opposition leader, right, they keep on lying to the African people. Don't listen to the PNN, NP and them now, boy. But the other day, right, in a meeting, the former Colin Booth, former finance minister, Colin Booth, right, say that he bring down the taxes on goods, right, from 15 to 12%, when they didn't have no 0% on the 7,000 item food, right? He say he bring it down to 12%. That means he take on 2.5%. When he put on 12.5%, is a lie. He lying to the African people. Forward is a great disrespect when I hear this. Yesterday I hear a reporter ask Penelope Beckers that if, right, let me forget all of these things, or at least the ministers and them trying to stimulate the economy. What you think about them remove the 15% VAT on the 12.5% VAT off a food item? You know what she said? She said we already had her off. Life forward.
Yeah.
The fight is, right, is to educate the African people to understand economics now, boy, like how you understand it now, boy. If we do this service to the African brothers, right, on the East-West corridor, it's a great service we're doing. Because surely, right, as you understand that UNC, not fooling the people and them, not lying to them and trying to benefit. The first thing the man do, the man take off $1 of the subsidy of gas and upon the subsidy back on gas when Colin both take off, you know. That was a great thing, you know, back up, because that was ease of the people and them on the plantation, you know. Forward. My boy Kingsley yesterday say that my brothers and them in Palestine, right, they go wear Nike and stay in 5-star hotel and eat KFC. That was a disrespecting forward. For 100,000 people lost their life in Palestine. At the lowest is 200,000, at the highest is 375,000 people lost their life day forward. Forward is a great day for this budget for the people and them on the plantation. It's going to make it easy 10% for the people and them or public servant. When you stimulate the economy forward, a man get a little 50,000, a man get 10,000, a man get 15,000, start certain people get 80,000 off of that back pay. They're going to start to build a little room, they're going to start to put up a little wall, they're going to hire the little brothers and things, right? They're going to push the wheel of the economy, they're going to make it ease on the economy. And forward.
That's the greatest stimulation of the economy that we are going to see. That 700 and something million plus that's in back pay, and then in wages increases 300 and something million dollars. That is the largest stimulation of the economy just in itself.
Thank you, Forward. Forward is a great appreciation, right? That we have a son of the soil like you to articulate. You don't have to lie back, you just have to talk the truth. Because the truth you have to reveal. And Forward, let me show you the serious thing here, right? When Kamala came in 2010, she reached the pay wage, she reached minimum wage, she reached the food prices, she reached everything there. She increased the minimum wage. She increased the pension twice, Forward. She increased public servant twice back pay. She takes 7,000 items, 0% off of it. She builds schools, she built over 100 schools, she built box drain, she built the aquatic center, the cycle velodrome, police station Forward, box drain. She was bringing it along easy for the men and them to get the box drain work. What was she fall back at? She had no fault, propaganda. And we do this budget forward, but all is goodies what you thinking. What was she fault? She had no fault. What bring she down? Propaganda. Forward, and thank you for you to fight this propaganda, because that's why you're fighting. Propaganda is a warfare, you know. Propaganda is a warfare. Let's bring down government, because they bring down she government in 2015 of a propaganda, and she come back and win. Forward, the fight now start, you know, to keep our government in power, or is the hardest thing, you know. Because when a government disseminating the wealth like Abraham Tory and the people and them, like this fella in Iraq, where he was in Iraq and in Libya, when they disseminating the wealth and the people and them and try to feed the poor people and them, the oligarchy, the 1% in the world, don't like it. Men like Rockefellers, men like Rothschild, these easy men and them own the wealth. They don't want the plantation, the wealth come to the especially to the African people, brother. The fight in this country is to uplift the African brothers and sisters on the plantation. Please, my African brothers and sisters, it's not about African and Indian, it's about your wealth in your pocket and your future, your children going forward. The decision that could make you go down or up. It has consequences in the election. It's not a football game. Kingsley, these people and get freedom in Palestine is not a football game, and they'll go back to and wear Nike. It's not about that. It's one world government to enslave the humanity and murder in them. And forward, that is not a ceasefire, you know. That is a cease for America to make their battery to give Israel to make it the next intifada, you know. It's a final demolition of this Palestinian. The goal of this world leaders is to demolish Palestine. For the past 200 years, they're paving the way for this war in Palestine to demolish the African people. It's the African people, is when the people with the melanin, the people from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The shaitan want to destroy the people from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the original people with the melanin. And these are the white men. African brothers, do not trust the white man. They speak with four tongues. Forward, thank you, brother. Your son of the soil. You should, Trinidadian should be proud to have a son of the soil like you, brother. This is not a train of thing. When you speak the truth, brother, appreciate that. If you lie, brother, you will be my enemy. But you're always speaking the truth to the people and them. Thank you, brother. Sorry to take so long, boy. Forward, boy.
No problem at all. Thank you very much, brother. Yeah, let's take another one. We anticipated that, you know, a lot of people want to weigh in. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. I really see a Real Madrid picture there, you know, Vinny, you know, I should know it's you. Morning, brother. Morning. Peace be unto you.
This government with this handling of the international affairs. But you see that budget yesterday, who would it be back a whole decade or only budgets that this can happen, that can happen. The assets are raised by $2 for this to continue. And we get the prices of gas down, we get an increase at the proper public, so we're going to get a proper increase. People in the private sector, let's talk about well, they ain't gonna raise a shit. When we create that kind of employment, that kind of economic flow, private businesses going to get back in proper business. So let's talk to all employers to raise all their money and think no, because they're going to make money now. We're going to have an economic flow in the country. You think that is what you call short-term economic relief. People in the streets, people in the shops and things will be able to sell a little more things now. We'll be able to think. All you have to understand the height of the budget was one for the people. Don't take chin about no 3% and I have to pay more. 10%, check 10% and check 3% and 3% is even half of 10%. All you take sense from nonsense. Yes, it are certain things you will talk about. The government ain't going to be perfect, you know, so we could talk, you know. But get the jacket, they one of the best budgets we had in our decade. And we don't talk about deficit. Because a decade of deficit, we are nothing for the people. So if we have a deficit with things for the people, be grateful. Blessed day, my brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. And blessings to you as well. The greatest stimulus of the domestic spending, of business, of families being able to afford more is through this increase. Something that, you know, I had to comment yesterday, the PNM acted as though it couldn't happen, as though it would totally destroy our economy. And to be honest, they take $1 billion and spend on a mega project, just one mega project that sometimes not delivered. They plan certain things in the past that cost hundreds of millions of dollars and never came into fruition. But you act as though it cannot be done. You act as though you cannot give working class people what they deserve. You act as though you do not understand that every single public servant now who's going to have this money at hand is going to spend on things they need, because they've been curtailing the standard of living for quite some time. They have been at strain trying to cope with inflation. You know, you reach, you see, and elections are things that drive politicians to come to power at times. They reach 5% during elections, and you know, that short-term prime minister stated, boy, that's all, it can't go no further. And promises made, promises kept, promises delivered. And I, as a small businessman as well, because I engage in economic activity as well, I look forward to people having that extra income. I have seen that working class people over the past few years, their income has been eroded and they have cut off certain spending. I've seen it. And now with this ease, they're able to demand more. They're able to say, okay, I'll put my children in a little lessons program, extracurricular activities, all of these things that stimulate growth. The UE students, the whoever, could now open a little lessons class. There's trickle down, there's spending among the people, as opposed to the endeavors previously, where they direct the flow of wealth into the hands of a few who monopolize it, who hoard it, who want to ensure that others don't have opportunities and stifle the economy in a way so that they can grow even greater and stronger, and debar you from even the possibility of growth into the sectors that they wish to dominate. So they could say, what? I listen a bit to the opposition, of course, because you have to give that opportunity to hear what both sides have said as well, to hear the critiques as well. If there's a shortcoming in what has been presented, etc., you want to make yourself aware of it as well as a citizen. And I've listened to them as well, and they cannot find fault. They cannot find fault in these initiatives. They cannot. They're scraping to find fault. But of course, on other items that we will discuss as well, they have tried to put some type of doubt into the minds of the population, right? But we're keeping a sober head. Yes, alcohol prices will go up and cigarettes, so we have to keep a sober head, and that might augur well for our society as well. We take the break and then we'll be right back.
Of oxygen is absolutely the absence of disease. Most chronic diseases that plague us are not happening to us, but is happening within us. We're literally eating ourselves to death, which means we're not living longer, we're dying longer. Join fitness expert Aloy Johnson, the founder of the healthiest corner on earth, located at number 92 East Drive, Champlain, every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. live on The Street 919 FM, where he shows you that healing the body's temple is easier than anyone would have led you to believe.
What are you doing? Big D, big fun, big MC, so we big on the ground. The big nation, cause they don't know we were the crown. Say we the one, GFC, so we lead in front. We a big nation, TNT and KFC, one motion.
Come to KFC, let we all have fun, and let we join together because KFC is life. It's a big deal.
Say what you want, KFC, so we lead in front.
Big deal.
We a big nation, TNT and KFC, one motion.
Big deal.
The safest vet in Trinidad heads to the shores of Pigeon Point, Tobago. Army Vet Tobago. Sirens and Stallions.
Yes, sir.
The undisputed king of events for Tobago Carnival 2024 is back. Bigger, safer, and beachier. On Thursday, 23rd October, from 3 p.m., calling all Sirens and Stallions, march down to Pigeon Point Beach for the biggest lineup for the season. Lyrical.
Like you get, so tell me why you're rocking.
Nyla Blackman, Young Brother. IWER George, Nick Haltasia.
Everybody charge up, we going higher.
Orphanal, Psy King Ding Dong.
I wanna party.
Dev, J-Del, Waddix. 2025 Soca Champion Sucre, Tobago's very own Juby, and more. Big DJs, and hosted by the one and only Junior Lee. Beachfront early birds, $250. A Calgary all-inclusive VIP deck, $800. Get your physical tickets now. Available at all advertised ticket outlets. Army Fit Tobago. Thursday, 23rd October. Powered by Awesome Sounds, Wiggins Effects, and Candyland Carnival.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday
from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning on the Street 919 FM.
Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
The Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
The Embassy Yacht is back and ready to transform your events into unforgettable experiences. Launched from King's Wharf, San Fernando, the perfect starting point for an epic experience of luxury, music, and celebration on the open water. By booking our vessel, your event will include a house DJ, state-of-the-art sound system, fully stocked bar, dedicated cleaning crew, top-notch security. This isn't just a venue, it's a floating masterpiece designed to make your event the talk of the town. Imagine your guests dancing under the stars, drinks in hand, with breathtaking views of the coastline as your backdrop. From birthdays to corporate events to exclusive parties, the Embassy Yacht offers promoters a unique platform to create unforgettable memories and boost your brand's reputation. Call or WhatsApp 399-5959 or email embassycruises@gmail.com.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. IWER George on Instagram. Share the live. IWER TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
And we are back. Good morning again to all of you listeners to Trinidad and Tobago this Tuesday morning. This Tuesday after the budget 2025-26 has been read. Blessings to everyone. The numbers are 3420081, 4665391, and I invite people, even you people, to call in, to weigh in, give your views on what you have heard thus far, and let's discuss our future. Good morning, caller. Welcome. Good. Yeah, good morning. You just need to move away from the radio or switch it off.
Oh, good morning. How you going?
Hey, morning. I'm good, man. And you?
I'm not too bad, man. I love your program. I just hear the love in your voice.
Thank you, brother. You know what it is. When it comes from the heart, it comes from the heart. And we just try to be genuine and real, brother.
So honest to you, just hear it. Anyway, when I'm into the media budget for a government who come into power just for 6 months and to give a budget like this, it's not so bad at all, because I'm going to tell you why. For the last 9 years, we had 9 budgets, and every single budget was some kind of doom and gloom and tighten your belt and nothing. You see no improvement. And 6 months in government coming power, we still get a little relief in certain things. So I want the population to understand, imagine 2 years from now, when the economy started to pick up from the last 9 years of destruction, the budget will be better and better every year. People have to understand that. Either you're going to look at the cup half full or you look at the cup half empty. Which one do people want to choose? Right now, look at it half full. Next couple of years, it could be better. When things started diversify and we started finding oil and gas and employment and refinery, people, everything will be better. Nobody, I'll let you be a man say, we had to tighten we belt till 2027. That's we all wanted.
So I was not about to say that, you know. Because I remember 2027, the man say, you know, after 10 years, they keep pushing back the date for anything to be positive in Trinidad and just telling me future, tighten belt. Boy, I'm glad to see the back.
Exactly, and who knows when 2027 reach now, you don't know even after level tighten it again to 2030. You understand? So people have to be grateful. At least we get something still. Not everything will be good. But once the economy pick up and things start to go better, people have to understand the budget's going to be better as every year goes by. So the population need to understand that. But it's at the end of the day, it has some sycophants you can't please them. You can never ever please them. They always have some doom and gloom thing to say about it. Give the people a chance. Only 6 months in government. That is kind of manage the misfits and the mismanagement for the last 9 years. A separation and another wicked PNM government. Thanks, Mr. Bakker, man. Good program. Love to know listening.
Yeah, man. Blessings. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning, brother. How are you doing?
Hey, loving yours, brother. Blessed morning to you and your listeners.
Loving you house all the time, man.
That is what I call a budget. I don't know what Mr. Embut was doing there for the last 9 years. I don't know what... You see, boy, I don't know what some other people want again. If they're not happy, they could check Embut and let Embut do a budget for them. But here what I'm telling you. You see, just being in leadership and taking a position where you're not willing to partake or participate in the austerity measures, or you're just standing on a platform and talking down to people, time for that is long gone in the past. Because to tell people this NIS fund is in 2030 something, it's not going to be there anymore and them kind of thing, and just don't do anything. You see the direction that this finance minister start one time away in the budget, trying to do something to rectify the problem. There was all kind of talk about if you give the people and them the 10%, you have to go by the IMF. But look, they get the 10% now, we know where next to the IMF. But what I appreciate is the statement that the finance minister made, which is that they are taking a different approach, right? As opposed to the other government who chose to eat first. Who chose to eat first and leave everybody else in the predicament that they left them in, while giving them all kind of advice about not eating macaroni pie and ham and riding to work and all kind of rubbish. Boy, that is what I call a budget forward. But I'll tell you, like they intend to spend more than 5 years. And but I really waiting to hear if the PNM could come up with anything to come and talk rubbish in the parliament when they get the opportunity, or if they're going to eat humble pie and say, yeah, boy, Ole really did a better job than us in terms of presenting a budget. Because clearly, you don't have to make the rich more wealthy to provide an opportunity for the poor. There are things you could do to directly provide that opportunity for the poor and allow the rich to continue living their lives and at least partake in some of the austerity measures. Brother, I couldn't be more pleased. I couldn't be more pleased. I'm hearing some ridiculous things from persons about they could leave the super and drop the premium. What rubbish.
Yeah, you hear that? I have not heard that. Alignment in the downtown circles alone. You alignment uptown people who does use premium, boy.
That in a chat that me and you in, I could send it back for you right now. All kind of
somebody who does use premium in that chat. I didn't even study that.
Well, man, I just listen to people I say, well, wait now. Like they would have preferred that gas gone up again, and the minister say, well, all it didn't have under the PNM, so take it again and maybe it might raise next year. I feel that some of the people who talking rubbish would have been more appreciative of that because like they get so accustomed to the uncaring treatment that they was getting, right? While the people who are well paid, loaded up with perks and benefits, enjoy everything that the state has to offer, but ask you to contribute nearly your skin and bones and the blood inside of you to keep the country afloat. Well, I tell you, I have no issue based on what I've heard coming from the budget so far. I have to listen to the rest of it, but brother is a full 100. Thumbs up, full 100 to Mr. Tanku. Brother, a job well done, well done. I don't think people could ask for more.
Yeah.
People get 10% so that they could breathe, just like how the politicians and whoever else get to breathe with that big heavy increase they get. Other people could get to breathe and don't have to wait till 2027. Because if the country had to wait till 2027, what's wrong with the people on top taking the same weight?
Yeah, they should have waited till 2027 too.
What's wrong with holding and waiting too if other people who not in a position, financial position like all you, don't have perks, don't have exemptions, don't have tax breaks, if them have to wait, what's wrong with all your waiting? All you dip all your whole head down in the trough. Whole head, food falling out at the side of all your mouth. And telling people to wait. But I don't know what this man Imbut was doing there. Huh? I really don't know. And Dr. Rowley left him there for the entire 9 years. Even after you laugh in people's face while introducing austerity measures. Not saying, oh gosh, I know it might be difficult, but it's something that we have to do. That is not nothing funny, but it just shows you what is going on in the heads of some people.
The mentality of the man.
But you telling me?
Yeah.
And it is rip my skull to understand how these people in Diego Martin still went back and vote back for this man.
Yeah.
And if I had no way, I take out that part of Diego Martin and put it somewhere out in the sea and let Column and them govern that. Because all you had to be a glutton for punishment. There is no way that man's supposed to win back his seat after the type of budget he offered, and not just the type of budget, you know, the narrative that come with all of what they were doing, and the fact that they were not participating in the cutting backs. Go and ask any one of them. Go and ask any one of them when they had to cut back. When they had to juggle and say, oh gosh, let me pay this bill this month and next week I go see, next month I go see. Go and ask them. But they didn't see no problem, no issue with accepting a heavy, heavy raise at a time when them telling the nation that things tight and we had to hold on to see a little prosperity, a little light at the end of the tunnel. But them not going through the tunnel at all. Them seeing light right through the seeing light. Right? Lord have mercy on some of us here who just I don't know that boy. Yeah. They get licked so much they don't know what is our ease out.
Thank you very much, brother.
Blessed.
Yeah. 3420081 4665391. Good morning, brother. What's happening?
Hi, good morning.
Hey, morning, brother.
I respect everybody's contribution. I respect that man's contribution also, but I don't agree with him at all with some of the things that he's saying. As a matter of fact, I feel this, remember I tell you, the only time I will really assess the government is after the budget. Well, I assess them now, and I have up another red flag. Let me show you something. That budget is a momagism budget for the people on the ground, because the people on the ground, all they know is party. So they ain't paying attention. They're only waiting to hear where they can get and where they can't get. But let me show you how we get mama guy out here. They say that, remember Kamala say that the ticket system, the point system, she was going to get rid of that and lower the fines because she find the fine was too high, right?
Yeah, they scrapped the merit system, yeah. Go ahead.
Right. So look what they come and do. Now, I suspecting square peg. You know what? You're going to find out. You're going to know what I'm calling square peg as I go along. After they do that, square peg come and give a man certificate for giving the most ticket in a short space of time, right? Look what they come and do in the budget now. They come now and they say the race ticket for drunk driving that I think 14,000.
Yeah, the fine for drunk driving like to $15,000. Yeah, that's the proposal.
15,000. If you're driving like you get a suspended license and you drive and they catch you, 10,000.
Driving without a license, without a valid license, yeah.
Right, 10,000, and then if oh gosh, 15,000 for something else. I go down tell you, I lost my train of thought there, you know, boy. The 15,000 for
There's one other. I can't remember exactly. Maybe it's dangerous driving. I'm not sure, but one other area.
Dangerous driving. That got to 15,000. Now, this government who claiming that they care about the poor, what poor man have 15,000? The last government before, it was 5 or 4, wherever it is. You had to charge people money that they could pay, because if they get in charge with money where they could pay, more money go come into the coffers every time they commit a crime. Now, you raise that to 15 and think, who poor man could take a chance and have money to pay that? So you're going to pull up the jail now with more black people, causing more money on the state to feed these people and have them incarcerated, right? Okay, let me move away from that. You come back now, you say you're talking about dangerous driving. What constitutes dangerous driving is overtaking dangerous driving, because right now I driving on the road and the pothole in the road, when you swing away from the pothole in the road, you're going over to the next lane to the oncoming vehicle. Is that dangerous driving? I had to pay 15,000 for that. You know, that you come now and you bring up our next thing, right? You say I'm glad for the public servants. Now, not everything I disagree with, you know. I'm glad for the public servants getting the little increase and thing. I'm glad for that.
Yeah, no, I know that. I know you as a man go be happy with the positive things to the people. But I want to say though, I understand what your concern is, but I understand as well. You see, having a blood alcohol level at a certain extent and driving, that has been a cause of death and destruction on our roads, and we've actually seen a bit of an increase. We have seen death on our roads because of the consumption of alcohol and the driving, and there has been this removal of demerit points, yes, but we don't want people to think that is an acceptable thing. You cannot be driving drunk. I beg in Trinidad and Tobago. You cannot go onto the roads at Trinidad and Tobago and you're drunk. You're not in control. You don't know what you're doing, right? And you're causing death not only to yourself but to others as well. And I think that is the ill. That is the real drastic ill that they're trying to prevent why they put the fine so high, brother. But I understand what you're saying in terms of, you know.
I also understand what you're saying, but sometimes things just happen. Right?
Yeah.
Like I drive drunk already, and when I drive drunk, I'm the safest driver on the road.
You feel so.
I will take him a normal sense. I won't take when I drunk.
You feel so. You ever heard the song where they say, rum make me a dance and thing? Rum does make you feel you're going good, you know. You swear you're going good, you know. You swear.
I load when I drunk. You see the white line in the road? I load when I drunk. How important them white line is. Because of them white line, I reach home safe. So, anyway.
But I understand what you're saying.
You come and you come and you give $1 off a super. I glad for that too. I don't have a problem with that. You're saving $50 every time you pull up your tank. That plus for me. But my car, the oldest fuel I just use in my car is premium. So we're going on with me. And we're going on with people who are using diesel. And I don't know if it's still a regular gas now, but we're going on with these people. You understand? So you get meeting with one hand and you take him back with the other hand. And then on top of that, you still in talk about you lower the price of the ticket yet, you know. Up to now, we didn't get that yet. You understand?
Oh, the other fines and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
The fine was too high and she will drop it. And we was waiting. I said, well, at least if we hear nothing, all them other time we go hear it with the budget. All right. You come now and you say, oh boy, so much thing I want to tell you. I'm losing my train of thought all the time because I'm not happy with this budget. You know. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Certain parts of the budget I'm not happy with. But I feel this budget is a momagism budget for the man in the street. Because you see the upper class and the middle class, them don't have them studying that. They go adjust the suit. But the man who working day to day and every dollar, every shilling matter. He ain't paying attention to that. You know, all he's studying is the party do this and he supporting the party. I vote for UNC. I am a full supporter of UNC. But right now, I move from 100 to 75 because they still have 4 years to go again. So I still gain them a little blight to see if they could correct the mistake. But this is a momagism budget as far as I am concerned. And people have to start thinking about country. Look now, let me tell you something. If, like what I keep saying for we to look for a third party from now, if UNC don't perform and next election come along and they don't have a third party, I am not voting. I am not voting. We make the stand for change and we want betterment with change and people must stop thinking party and start taking country and hold these ministers and them to account. Don't come and push things down with you and saying this is good medicine for we and then we spitting it out but we still going along with the medicine. No, that long time politics. We want positivity in this time. We're not in agreement with something, come out and talk. Because by talking, you will make the party that you're supporting better because they will realize where they're going wrong and and I feel this 14,000 and 10,000 and thing we're coming up here, I feel a square peg responsible for that. And that didn't sound like the finance minister with that one. That sound like square peg.
All right.
I remember everything I wanted to tell you, but you know.
Yeah, no problem.
There's a few things I will just show.
Over the week, we'll continue to discuss it, so don't worry. All right, blessings.
All right.
Yeah. My boy, you're not easy. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Mr. Ford, how are you, sir?
Hi there, man. Not too bad at all. Go ahead, make your contribution. Welcome.
Yeah, man. Let me see how fast I could make this contribution and short. My only discourse with the budget is concerning. Well, I don't care what people call it, but I still calling it property tax. Because if you're telling the landlords they have to now pay taxes, it means then that the tenant have to bear the cost of that. So you have tenants who are already struggling to pay rent, right? Already struggling with the hype of food and cost of food and so on. Now you're going to put pressure now on the tenants now, because you cannot tell me that the landlord has to pay more tax and it would not affect the tenant. So I have a problem with that. So I see in the poor man there going to go through more pressure under this UNC with that tax that the landlord have to pay. Now tell me something, you're talking about food, you drop the price of food. Let me look at the price of food that they're dropping. Mr. Food, what? Coconut water, salt, Moby. Come on. What about rice, flour, sugar, basic food items? That's not hard. That's not hard, Mr. Fuad.
Yeah,
rice, sugar, flour, basic.
I think those items. I think those basic basket of items are already zero VAT. But we will see the full listing and get an understanding of that soon. But I feel the basic items that we're talking about, like sugar, flour, I believe those things are already zero VAT now.
Go back and research that, Mr. Fuad. You will see that different. Because I would have gone, you're going to negotiate, pay for rice. I can't remember the 2 pound or the 3 pound. When you're going is $40 today, you're going back next week, it's $60.
Yeah, because those are the immediate important. Yeah, because those are the immediate important necessities that really and truly affect the lives. The other things,
agreeing with me.
Yeah, I understand that.
So these are basic food items. How much coconut water I could drink? I could pull up in the road and buy a coconut water.
Yeah, that's an extra. That's a luxury.
It don't make sense. Again, you're affecting the poor man with that. So I don't understand when they start talking. I don't understand how people say, "No, God, but that budget is glorious." I'm not seeing it. I see the poor man is still being affected, but it's food-wise, which is basic, which all people look forward to, is food. And the price of food dropping. Me and see that at all. So totally you telling me you don't care about me. Yeah. And that rent, that tenant had to pay more for, because once the landlord had to pay tax, it will affect the tenant. So me understand how people saying this is a good budget at all.
Yeah, so there are definitely ways in which the people have benefited, but we will check to see what are the items that are zero VAT, so that they will be cheaper to the population, right? And some of the examples that he referred to, I know people would think, and it is true, that coconut water is not that mobby and all. I mean, and I think he made a bit of a mistake with cucumber something or whatever, because those items would not be subjected to VAT in that way. And yes, if we are going to be fair with this new landlord tax, it is the opposite of property tax per se. It's not the individual people who rent who are going to face it, but it does trickle down. So if the landlords are now charged an extra cost, it is very likely that they will pass on whatever cost to the renter, and that does have a detrimental effect. So we are fair and we are honest, and we have to realize that that is an additional issue there that can offer a cost to people, right? And it is not rich people who rent, it is people who, you don't own your own, and it is challenging to own a house in this climate, this economic climate. So we have to be fair. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Oh, Mr. Ford, morning. What going on?
Hi there, man. Not too bad at all. Welcome.
Yeah, man. You see, this budget, well, our budget is not always to be good, People don't understand our budget will be a half and half. It got some good, it got some bad. People, the citizens of this country who calling and talking about who works and thing about the budget, okay, good. That's your opinion, right? But all you have to understand, this government only 6 months in power, right? And they had to manage our budget for the last 9 years at the misfits, at the mismanagement of the PNM. So they expect a milk and honey budget. All right? So you have to understand that they had to get this country back up in order, get running, diversification. You understand? So they expect it to be nice people. Give them a 2 years again, and then all they're going to be saying the budget good. It's good, and this is the best budget that they ever get. And I don't understand, in 6 months, the people come, and they have to manage our money with they leave in the treasury. And all they still have to get some good stuff. So all they don't complain at all. Don't complain, people. Look at the cup half full, or rather half empty. All right?
Yeah, thank you very much for your opinion. No, I mean, and people have the right to express where they feel they don't like something within the budget, but obviously it is a balancing act. It is an act of trying to ensure that there is sufficient revenue and that you apply taxes, etc., in a manner that will affect the people as least as possible. You try your best to administer ease to those who are most affected, and that's the challenge and the balance that has been weighed up. If you look at the estimate for landlords and this surcharges tax, the expected yield is $70 million. So it is remarkably smaller than any property tax which was levied against all individuals who owned homes, right? It is tremendously less. For just one district, it is less than that as well, because I think the uptake in one region was 100 and something million, 30 million, somewhere around that in each region from property tax when it was placed on us, right? Remember, it was placed on us. Some people paid, some people did not pay. And as the government promised, they have not returned property tax in that form to us, allowing us to keep hundreds of millions of dollars. Just do the maths. So yes, there are measures that are in place that take, right? But as compared to what has been given and allowed and freed up for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we have won tremendously comparatively. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning to you. And I must say good morning to the listeners of Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to the people of America. Good morning to the people of the Middle East.
Hey, and, good morning, my brother. You sound a little different at the start.
Yes. And how I say the Middle East, they getting come back to yourselves.
love all the time, my brother.
I want to tell them that when they see me and Mr. Baka debating all this stuff, we just stay out of it. Maybe and his friends, personal friends. And speaking to the Minister of Finance late last night, at the Parliament down there at Woodford Square, late last night, when he was walking out, I got a chance to speak to him last night. And don't worry, everything is going to be okay. Next year, the pensioners will get fixed. The minimum wage will get fixed. I think that people who call in this morning, they're wicked and they're evil. Because it is a full government budget. They want everything go down low one time and happen one time. I want to make it clear. It is one of the greatest budgets ever read in Trinidad and Tobago. Me, living in this country. People calling this budget the budget of hope, the budget of faith, the budget of love, the budget of care. There is something for every single one. The rich, the poor, the needy in this budget. And as these ladies say, I cannot please everybody. And this morning you are hearing Ocean please coming out because them driving premium and they ain't get the premium drop, so they're vexed with the government. Them driving diesel and they ain't get diesel. If this morning she did carry down premium and leave super. You would hear these super people come out. You cannot please human being.
Yeah, but we could understand, and that's the best reasoning. If you are going to give back to the people of Trinidad and Tobago and ease things up, you ease up those on the lower end with super, right?
But, because you driving premium car, you driving premium car, you good to go.
Yeah,
I'm driving super.
Yeah, you're good to go. And we have that. I feel, yes, it might have a little bit of naysayers, but I feel generally as a people, we understand that. I think we understand that.
And you understand that. And if I remain again, my brother, you cannot get everything one time. One time it's 5 years you have. Let me see from the fourth budget or the third budget, you can judge the UNC on that. You cannot judge the UNC on one budget. One budget. The UNC bend the back to try to make everybody happy. And I tell you, people with the we just say they want to raise the wages to go up. That will go up. It will take place. They cannot come yesterday morning and say everything is low because you might crash. Human child best. Which I just fix everybody. I look at the Dave Tanko will go down one of the greatest minister of finance Trinidad and Tobago. This under the leadership of Kamala Prasad, sir. It is a budget where this morning people wake up, people feel relaxed, the country feel light.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, my brother.
Yeah, and no pain.
No pain, no
pain. It at times when Kingsley, I remember, people calling from abroad, hey Fuad, here we're going on, run and go and pay property tax, my boy, next thing, I don't want to lose my place, this, that. It at times is lying like that, is endless lines in front of the gas station, anticipating people filling up before the budget because they know it's licks the next day. I went from $120 in diesel, then to $180. Now is $280 to full. People feel it. No joke. Feel it over the last 10 years, So all you do be stupid or naive.
Yeah,
there's a total different thing. So much so that people is they can fix their mouth to complain now. Their mouth smiling and they still fixing their smiling mouth to complain sometimes. But I'm nothing. That's
common people. Tobago happy again. It's the largest Tobago ever get by.
Yeah.
What's the F, my brother? I would have come and say this morning. This budget, I don't afraid that. If I know me, I don't afraid to say what I have to say. You like me, you give me something, I still tell you, hey, you're on shippiness. That's how I is. You don't want to give me again. You don't want to give me again. Because when Mary McDonald think she was giving me, and it had people behind me, and I tell she my line, she said, Kingsley, what I given you? I said, what I do about those behind me? What about those behind me? I'm a rebel, UNC. I will call out the leader, Kamala Prasad, the mother of the nation. If I just find that this budget was a hard budget, I give this budget 90% out of 100. Well done, the Minister of Finance. Well done to the Prime Minister. Well done to the public servants who work night and day to get this budget and to this country. I feel comfortable. With the budget. I feel like hope with the budget. And yes, as I close, people talking about you have to go back to the 10%. But you must go back to the table. But the point is that it start 10. You can't go down. You're going to the table with 10%. You ain't going with 0%, 1%, 4%. You are going with 10%. And 10%, all unions should take the 10%. All unions should take the 10%. All unions should be grabbing that 10% now.
What do you mean should be? Them celebrating already, promise made, promise delivered. And listen to how kind, I know you you mightn't like it, you would have licked them, right? The government is so kind that they have said that here what they're doing, right? They will adjust for tutor and for the others who who went for 4% and 5%, whatever, they say they go adjust for them. You imagine that?
Yes.
I know you, if you was Prime Minister Kingsley, you say all your
drama.
Yeah, all you went on the next side, all you betray solidarity, take all again.
She had to be politically correct. I don't have to be politically correct. They should get nothing. If I was KFC, I was saying fire burn them. Have a good day.
Yeah, have a good day, brother. Yeah. Understand, even in the context of where revenue has been taken, right? Understand where. And I read from the Daily News today. I'll get to the callers just now, sorry, right? And we have all week as well. Commercial banks and insurance companies will have to pay an asset levy of 0.25% charged against their assets. $575 million in revenue will be attained from these commercial banks. The finance minister said that while commercial banks and insurance companies had reported sustained earnings, high liquidity ratios, and strong asset growth, the average citizen continued to be subjected to unreasonably high fees and near zero returns on their savings and investment. Look carefully at what our Prime Minister is doing. $575 million she has targeted, she has aimed specifically at those who have been taking advantage of the population economically, and she has taken from them to now distribute among the poor. That $575 million almost echoes the same amount that is being placed for unemployment relief. $400 and something million, and then an additional $300 million in another fund. That unemployment alleviation is going to be fleshed out by the Prime Minister herself when she comes to speak on the budget, because she wants to be the one to present this level of ease, this level of economic activity and job creation that will satisfy the losses that have been incurred with CPEP, URP, reforestation, etc. So look carefully, just pay attention. Good morning, Mr. West.
Morning, Mr. Fuad. Sorry for interrupting.
No, not at all. Not at all. Welcome.
Yeah, I think people have to understand the context in which this budget was being read. And given our present economic circumstances, it's a challenging exercise to prepare a budget for this country, because you don't have revenue, you don't have the revenue coming, and the fact remains is that you have certain expenditure or spending that you have to do. You're committed to recurrent expenditure, and you have minimal capital expenditure. The fact remains, and you question of forex and all that. So I think you're right. And when a budget is read, it don't matter which part in the world you read a budget, you're going to have people who are going to be happy, and you have people who are going to be unhappy. That's the nature of it. And therefore, sometimes, at times when you read a budget and you listen to what the public opinion and people, what the expression, and you make the adjustment here and there. So it is not cast in stone, as it were. Even after the budget being passed, there's room for adjustment. So I am saying that you don't get, there's no perfect, nobody in this world is perfect. Nothing is perfect. And the fact remains is that everybody knows that. And what I'm saying here is this: I listened to some of the experts last night, the economists, and listened to those commentators and whatnot. And I heard some of your earlier contributors, and they were, and I was so happy to hear that people understand you know, in that mode of understanding the economics and that kind of thing. Some people don't understand, but they will get there once they listen to you. The fact remains is that this is the world we live in. You're going to make budget, you're going to satisfy people. Some people will be dissatisfied, and some people will be happy. That's the nature of things. And down the road, yes, you're going to have adjustments that may take place, and as you go on. And as your big brother said, the proposals that the people made, if in fact you have an election, because this is the mandate, this is what I propose to do. And if in fact everything has to be done in 1 year, well then we have election after a year. If you have 5 years to implement what you have in the manifesto, 5 years, your big brother was quite correct.
Yeah.
You can't get everything one time. And the economy, where the economy is at now. The fact remains is that you have to be very particular. You have to be meticulous. You have to be very careful, because you could upset the apple cart and plunge the economy down into chaos. And understanding also that the economy was in a standstill for the last 9 years. So you have to stabilize, and then you have to move towards bringing about growth. Without growth, you can't improve the standard of living and quality of life of the people. So this is where it's at, and you have to the spending is there to generate, as you said, to stimulate the economy. People have to understand that it's not that Mbe and Rowley and these people left a booming economy for you here. They told you that by 20, you have to wait until 2027, other you cook. And all these different things they're telling you where you get the money from. A lot of them disappointed this morning because they expected the government to devalue the money, the currency. They expected the government to hear that the government going to the IMF, because most of them were saying that. I listened to some of the radio stations and all that. But the fact remains is that people have to understand economics. Economics, and when you talk about how you run an economy, manage an economy, people impose economists, some monetarists, well, they have to look at the monetary aspects of it, and also the fiscal part of it. But the fact remains is that you have factors, there are things that you can do. You have a tool, a whole tool, a box of tool measures that you could do to bring about the desired outcome that you want. And it's not that when Mbe say what you have to follow what Mbe say. You don't have to follow that. It never happen like that, because certainly it's guided by ideology to a large extent, and the belief about what is required to improve different tools and understanding as to how you want the economy to go. So some people expect that the economy, what Mbe used to do, we have to do, and this and that. No. It don't happen like that. When you go by a doctor, some doctor will give you a 2 injection, one will give you a tablet. It's all in the expectation that you will get better. And this is what the Minister of Finance, he comes like the doctor for the economy. And he has the tools that he don't have to follow what Mbe and the PNM want and what some other people want. Right? And one thing I want to talk about, I don't want to take too much of your time.
Sure.
The question of this money with respect to this where it is the heavy penalty with respect. I don't think I need to repeat it, but the fact remains is that it is a deterrent. Every day people smash up, people losing their life. You could lose your life if you have people driving drunk and reckless and recklessly.
Yeah, I have no problem with those two deterrents. The two major deterrents are dangerous driving and driving under the influence of alcohol. I have no problem with that.
Just recently stood up on the motor car singing and lift up the woman and all. People all kind of things. What madness is, people have to, let me tell you something. This country is too lawless. And you have people who believe that lawlessness must prevail in this. No. You don't run a country like that. People have to abide by the law. Right? If you people don't want to have, you have lawlessness, you have mayhem. You have disaster on your hands. Whether it's the traffic law, whether it's the criminal law, whether it's the civil law, whether it's the tort law, it constitutes, you have to abide by that. Because I can live in a lawlessness, and who want to drink drunk and all that, let it, you, and nobody should be proud of drinking, saying that they're drinking and they're driving drunk, and be proud about that. Nonsense, man.
Yeah. All right.
you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and those are two totally different things in terms of the fines for your motor vehicle and whatever else being high. I still advocate for those things to be reduced, but when it comes to drunk driving and reckless driving, I have no problem with extreme fines. I have 15 by 15, both of them are $15,000, and it's $5,000 proposed for driving without a license. I ain't have no problem with that. Only don't do that madness. Morning, my brother.
Good morning, sir. Okay. So we heard the political publication. Let's hear some analytics. The budget was based on $73 per barrel of oil. The present price of oil is $63 per barrel. Right? So we have a deficit loss right now at $10 US on every barrel of oil. That is one. Two. The guy from England to justify Brexit, the minister, the Lord, explained economics in the simplest term. If you spend more than you collect in taxes, it's not a matter of if you will fail, but when. And that was because Greece was asking for a bailout for the failed economic policies of give. Right now, we have an issue in this country where we have increased our deficit, and we will end up in the same manner like we did in 2015 with an exorbitant deficit, $50 billion deficit over a period of time, where it is you are spending more than you are earning, and when you are spending from your GDP, I don't think people understand that. As for the charges to the banks, how is that helping the poor man when they are just going to pass it along to us, the poor people? You see, we have to understand and analyze these things. How are we going to help the black man when 95% of the black people are renters? And when you increase a tax, or when you put a tax on rental landlords, they're going to pass it on to the renters. So the black poor people are going to have to pay to make the landlords rich. Who are the landlords in the country? Well, 80% are Indo-Trinidadian, and the other percent is the rest of people, either Chinese or the so-called 1%.
Yeah, I ain't 100% sure about your statistics, but I understand your point. Go ahead.
Well, you see, this is the problem.
But I understand the point.
The people who are not getting it by taxing the others, it just passes down. And the black people have to pay it.
So definitely we mentioned that as well. That is going to be that's going to be a challenge for those people who are renting, because on many occasions most landlords will pass on whatever charge that they have to incur onto the onto the
banks
renters.
will do the same.
Yeah.
The banks are going to do the same. And the fact that we are spending more than we earning, because as I already highlighted, the amount that the budget was based on and the amount that oil is really at, we have a fairy tale budget, because we're hoping and wishing that some magic will happen, that the oil price will go up. I know they're hoping that they go up a war in Venezuela, so black oil will go up. But at the end of the day, that is written for people's death for your prosperity. And that's a terrible, evil, wicked thing.
Again, you're speculating, and I understand what you're trying to speculate. I've heard the other commentators as well on the exact topic. I have heard also the comparison of the last budget projections for oil and gas as well, and I understand that they are trying to say that it may be a strategic move to precipitate the action of going into the Heritage and Stabilization Fund to really supplement.
Going into deficit, going again into what it took.
We have continually had a deficit, and in this economic climate that we face, in order to meet the challenges that we have, we understand that we're going to have a deficit. We also understand, like, I am not.
We
am out.
The deficit.
Listen, I am not averse to even going into the Heritage and Stabilization Fund.
And you don't want to go there because that's going to cause a problem for you and for the narrative.
No. That is what the fund is for. The fund is there for our difficult times.
I'm not talking about just the fund. I'm speaking about the fact that we are going into debt. Because when you have all this billions of dollars deficit on a continual, you don't understand what I mean? That means we have to borrow money to fulfill the commitment of the budget. And when you have a continual thing, this is what I'm telling you, in 2015, we remained with a 50 billion bill to pay.
Right, and listen to me carefully, right? This is the first year in the term of this new administration, and they have come into a difficult period of economic challenges, and to meet the expectations and to drive the economy in a positive direction. They have, as all governments have done in the past, listen, over the last 10 years as well, they have over the last 10 years, they have operated on a deficit budget, and they have done and they have done no different in this one. What we do hope
it increased by 5 billion in deficit, and the problem is, if we don't make a better increase of profitability, we are going to end up in down status. S&P said so, because S&P gives a rating on a projection, not on the past, right? Moody's gives on the past. S&P gives on projected failures.
Thank you very much. We're just coming to the top of the hour, and we have a minute and a half to wrap up. All right, thank you very much. And I hear what you're trying to put forward, but I've also explained that there's a threshold of deficit that is a good deficit. All governments now, modern day governments, run deficit budgets, and in our economic context of today, this is the challenge that we are facing. Yes, we can look forward to greater economic viability in the future and decreasing our deficit if we are able to accrue more, if our projects come on stream in terms of Dragon Gas and the Exxon project, etc., where our oil and gas revenues will be increased, and even the petrochemicals that are derivatives from that flow as well. And of course, yes, we have this immense task in front of us of diversification, and those things are aims of our government. But what has been put forward is more than satisfactory in terms of deficit. If the projections of revenue from the price of oil and gas are inflated as they are being suggested, and it is done for to afford the opportunity to take from our Heritage and Stabilization Fund, given the parameters that are set, then I don't have a problem with that, because in this context, at this point in time, I that is what our fund is for. That is what it is for. And that makes more sense than bringing another austerity budget that plunges people's psyche into doom and further gloom. But of course, that would be pleasant for an opposition or people who want this government to fail. So understand the balancing act that takes place. Understand what has been presented in front of us. And we will continue to discuss the pros, the cons, the challenges, and also the opportunities that are afforded by this economic statement for Trinidad and Tobago. I want to thank everybody who has weighed in for the morning. I know there are a lot of people calling, trying to get in. Right, the lines have been extremely busy. We will be back, God willing, tomorrow, and we're going to further our discussions. All right, so feel free, even the last caller as well, because I just kind of replied as well. You could come back in as well. Blessings to everyone. Love. We want the best for Trinidad and Tobago, and we want to put our shoulders to the wheel and to push our country forward. All right. Thanks to everyone. Blessings to Trinidad and Tobago. Have a good Wednesday. Have a good Tuesday. Take care.
AM to 10 AM on Sundays. May God bless you as you learn the truth. In Jesus' name, amen.
What are you doing? Big D, big fun, KFC, so we big on the ground. The big nation, cause you don't know we were the crown. Say what you want, KFC, so we lead in front. We are big nation, TNT and KFC, one motion.
Come to KFC, let we all have fun, and let we join together because KFC is life. It's a big